I'm getting back into board gaming hardcore again now that COVID numbers are doing up. So I was just going to make this quick video to talk about my board game collection, kind of what I'm keeping, some stuff I'm getting rid of, and just general small thoughts. King Domino, I didn't realize, but I think this is like the bigger box version of it. I haven't decided if I'm going to get Queen Domino to go with this. Just super quick tile laying game. Sheriff Nottingham, good bluffing game. This is the first edition. I do not like the art of the second edition, so definitely keeping that. Century Golem edition, which also has the third one, which is like New Worlds or something like that. Two fun, very light games. One's like a hand management engine building game. The other one's worker placement. Alien Fate of the Nostromo. Co-op I just got. Probably the newest game I got. Verdict still out on this one. It was super easy the first time. I think it might be too light for me, if that's possible. Targi, I've played this before. I just wanted my own copy. Super quick, super fun, two-player game, pretty small box, very thinky. Horrified, a co-op I have not actually played yet. I picked this up super cheap at like Walmart one day. Uh, so I think I got it for like $10. Sherlock Holmes Consulting Detective, I've done a case of this, pretty good. Watson Holmes, done a couple of cases of this. Um, Also pretty fun. Cosmic Encounter, just like one of my all-time favorites. I've got like 3 or 4 expansions in here too, and you can see the boxes like beat the heck up because I played a lot of this. Swinging on here, Seasons of Inish, which is probably my favorite like area control dudes on a map game. It's a very weird one. It's not for everyone, but I think the people who like it really like it, and the people who don't really don't. This has Inish and Seasons of Inish in it. I like it being in this smaller box. The other box was like a really big honking thing and just had a bunch of dead space. Supposedly they're going to do another expansion at that point. I do not know how I'm going to store that game because this box is full. Dune Imperium, kind of the new one of the new big hits of the last couple years. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I like it a lot. I don't think it's like the greatest game ever. I like kind of the mix of like worker placement with direct conflict with deck building, but I could see some people finding it too long and fiddly for what it is. But my group really likes it. I think it's like the right weight for my group. Pandemic with expansions. I go back and forth on whether or not I'm gonna get rid of this. Not because I don't like Pandemic, but because A, I never play with the expansions, and B, I feel like I could probably sell this and just get Iberia for a cheaper price. And Iberia has some variants and stuff that I think takes the best of what's in here and just puts it in a better package. So I may do that. And I also have like 2 other versions of Pandemic that's in my family's library of games. Race for the Galaxy with the Arc 2 and 3 expansions. Just one of my all-time favorite card games. Doesn't always hit the table, but when it does, it's just a fun time. Concordia, which is probably one of my favorite Euros. Just a really solid game, pretty easy to understand. Um, Sola Fide, which is one that doesn't get as much love as I would have thought. Part of it may be like the very boring, like uh, Reformation theme, but I think it's kind of cool. It's just like a very simple, like influence control game. Think kind of like Twilight Struggle, but a lot easier to understand, a little more direct control, and no weird mathy dice rolls. So as much as I love Twilight Struggle, I'd much rather play Sola Fide. I think it's much easier and quicker to play. Wingspan, which is just a, a darling of a game. I like it in terms of it being complex enough that you can strategize, but random enough that it doesn't feel like you're getting people who like are really good at the game to just trounce other people. I've had people play it for their first times and trounce me, so it's like don't. I like that. It feels like kind of family weight, but in a mechanics and levels of like a deeper game. Um, Now going to the other end, Great Western Trail, which is just a heavy beast of a game. I have a hard time getting it to the table. This is the first edition. I really like this game, but it's kind of an aspirational one. Not everybody in my group likes it, and my family definitely doesn't like it. So this is like a hard one to get to the table, but I think it's good. The new edition, I don't know if I will upgrade to. Maybe if it goes on sale one day. I also want to see how the next 2 in the series are, if they're replacements. All right, so now I gotta stand up and come over here to the top, and this is like all my smaller games. We'll start with the smallest here. We got Tussie Mussy and Sprawlopolis, which are two 18 card games. Those are pretty cool. Random sleeves. Friday, which a friend gave me. It's a weird game. It's a solo game. I don't know if I like it yet. I will probably play it some more. Two random 52 card decks. Onitama, which is like the abstract two-player game for me. Netrunner Terminal Directive, and then there's like some bunch of Netrunner down here. Netrunner is probably my favorite card game, maybe just my favorite board game. A bunch of this stuff I just got, so I haven't played it yet. High Society, The Crew, Stellar, Subastral. Haven't played any of these. Here they're good. Stellar and Subastral maybe not as good, but I want to try them. I was kind of trying to get the Renegade smaller box games. I also got Fox in the Forest, which I haven't played. Silver Gold Archaeology, I haven't played. Crossfire, haven't played. I got that way a while back. Onirim, probably my favorite like solo game. Just like very simple kind of card game that has a lot of meaty decisions. Coup, pretty good. Just classic social deduction game. This is Radlands, which is a two-player game, which feels a lot like a CCG, but it doesn't have kind of the sinister elements of like purchasing CCG. It's like 25 bucks, you get everything. Both players draw from the same deck. There's no, it's crazy broken. I mean, I've only played it once, but it doesn't seem like crazy broken like some CCGs are, where just some cards are just inherently like superiorly powerful and others are just kind of suck. Two great party games. Monikers in the metagame. The metagame I always describe as like if you made cards against humanity, but actually created interesting variants and didn't just put in a bunch of salaciously offensive stuff that makes people uncomfortable. And then Monikers is a lot like charades. It's a pretty old party game, so I feel like some people know it. Sushi Go Party, drafting game of choice, good critters, a fun kind of like semi I split, everybody votes if they agree on the split. Biblios, which is just like one of the great filler card games of all time. Dale of Merchants, I just played this last night. Pretty fun, light deck builder, about as light as a deck builder could be, as far as I'm concerned. So I'm really hoping this will go over well with like family weight. Got a little extra deck up here. I got the second one too. These have kind of been hard to find. So actually I went to purchase these, and then I went ahead and bought a bunch of other small box stuff because they were all like really cheap, the site I was looking at. So that's like the stuff that's staying in my collection for now. Like I said, Pandemic's on the brink. That's not a pun because one of the expansions is on the brink, but I think it's going to stay for now. And then I'm going to come over here, and these are the stuff I'm getting rid of. And not all of the stuff is bad, so don't like flip out on me if you see something you love and I'm getting rid of it. War of the Ring. Okay, look, this is a great game. This is an amazing game. I love this game. I also have the expansion for this game, the Leaders one. I don't need to own this because like every one of my friends that wants to play this game owns this game. And when we play it, I can just play their version. And I'm usually going over to their house anyway because that's just how it goes. I don't need to own this game. It's pointless for me to own this game. I haven't cracked open this copy in like 3 or 4 years now. Just doesn't need to be in my collection. Love it. Great game. I don't need to own it. Santorini. It's a fun 2-player game, but Onitama I'd rather play. Onitama plays quicker. The rules are simpler. It's not as fiddly. Santorini, like, you think that having the different character abilities would make for more replayability, but I think it just makes for more like arguments at the table as to how the characters work, because I don't really like how the world book is written. So hard pass on this one. It's not a bad game. I'd give it like a 6 or a 7. It's cute. I like the presentation of it, but it's a little bit the base thing, which like fills up like 2/3 of the box, is a little much. Bargain Quest. Okay, look, Bargain Quest is a great game. It's a cool drafting game. I just think I don't like the part when the people come to your shop and then go fight the monster. It just feels like you can kind of get screwed over on that, and it's not as fun. Maybe some of the expansions fix that stuff, but I don't want to buy expansions to fix a game. I'd rather just play Sushi Go then. It plays faster. You just add up your points. It's super simpler. Bargain Quest. Cool idea. I like the idea of making a shop, but it doesn't do much for me, honestly. to have the person go out and fight the monster. That just feels like another generic fantasy thing. Lords of Vegas, I've never played this. Actually bought this because it was out of print at the time. I think a new Kickstarter came out, but then like they didn't print enough. So I'm gonna restore this and sell this to somebody because Lords of Vegas is not my kind of game at all. I'm not a big like push your luck person, not a big like economy engine person. Like this is just not my thing. But I found a copy of it and I wanted to fix it up and give it to someone else. Karen, this is a pretty decent one. Same person who designed Inish. But once again, I think Onitama is just better. It has these cool little things where you like lay out these tiles that have powers, but then you're constantly referencing the books to see what the tiles are. I'm sure if you played this enough with the person, you would figure that out. But it's not like a great addition. I feel to the thing. It's cool. It's fine. I just don't. It's an extra layer of fiddliness that I don't really need in my like 2-player abstract kind of chess like game. I just feel like it's an extra layer of complexity. It doesn't really add anything for me. Oh My Cabbages was a gift. I profusely apologize to the person who gave it to me, but I looked at reviews after the fact, and apparently this game is not very good, and the publisher is not very good, and I don't think I'm gonna bring myself to play this. There's just too many. Life's too short. Got too many good games to play. Terminate Camelot is a game I really wanted to like. It's a trick-taking game. It's not terrible. It's just it tries to do this thing of like balancing out kind of people at the different levels of like the worse you're doing, the more you can get kind of special powers that make you have a better chance of coming back, which I like that idea, especially for like a family weight game. But it results in just like making the game way more complex than it needs to be, to where you have this like, oh wait, I have this power, oh wait, I have this power, oh wait, I have this power, and it just really slows down the game the further it goes on, to the point that I'm just like, I'd rather just play Hearts or something like that, or find another trick-taking game. That's part of why I got The Crew, which I know is a co-op one, Fox and the Forest, which I know is only a 2-player one, but I want to try some of these other ones that get a lot of love. I think this one's just a little too fiddly for me. That's like a thing you'll probably notice a lot, is like there's some games where like the complexity I like because it adds more strategy. Here it just feels like the complexity slows down the game. Like your strategy doesn't change because you've got to follow suit in Terminate Camelot. So like even if you may have 2 cards and it may not matter which 2 you pick, even if other people have powers that can do things, like you're just kind of like, okay, well, I'm just following suit like I'm supposed to. There's not an added strategy layer there. And the Resistance, I've really kind of soured on the Resistance. I played the Resistance Avalon recently, and I think it is group dependent, and I play with a good group of people, and I enjoyed that group of people, but I think it's like a game you try to solve in a way that really becomes, I don't want to say antisocial, but can lead to like lots of like unhelpful arguing at the table, where it's just like, I don't know, like I get, people are deducing stuff and other people are not following the directions, and other people just feel like they they're getting yelled at for having no idea how to play the game. So it's like, I don't know. Like I've had some good games of this, but I've had just as many bad games, and I feel like I would rather play a different kind of game that either has social deduction or something that feels like people don't have some of the, there's some friction to this design that I don't like, I guess what I'll say. And it's like a social friction, and I'd rather play something else. I found like One Night Werewolf, I haven't had that problem. And Coup, which I know is a different kind of social deduction game, I haven't had that problem. So the Resistance just, it was cool for a while. I think we've kind of moved on to better social deduction games. So bye-bye Resistance. So that's what's going out. Some great games, some not so great games, some okay games. So that's kind of where my board game collection is at. And then hopefully I won't buy anything else for a while and just play what I have. That's kind of my goal now, is just play a lot of what I have and then see how much I enjoy that, which is probably what a lot of us should do who are in the hobby.